Thanks.
Okay, manager report. Would the treasurer like me to review the financials?
Yes, please.
Okay, on page 4, and I'll put on the screen the financials. This is our balance sheet as of the end of February 2/28. We had $73,499 in our checking account. We operate a separate checking operations account for the parcel 6 is what it's called, at least what we call it, the gated area, and that's $14,658. So total operations checking is $88,158. We have 3 reserve accounts, a money market with $25,849. We have a CD that is going to mature at the end of this year of $52,421. And then we have, I'm sorry, the $25,849 is a money market for parcel 6 special because there's roads and the gates are in that reserve. And then the normal reserve account is a $733,109. And we'll talk about that in particular after the financial report. We have AR assessments, that's receivables of assessments owed to the association of $18,615, and then 5 other categories of late fees, legal, reserve, fines, and other receivables owed by homeowners in the association, $17,208. Accounts payable down here at 10, bills that have been processed but not yet checks cut for those because we're on an accrual books. And then we have prepaid assessments, which are exactly what it sounds like, people that paid ahead of time, $16,615. So no surprises here. Your balance sheet is looking fine. We're only 2 months into the year. On the profit and loss or the comparison to budget, I like to go over the year to date, 2 months worth of differences to budget, both high and low. So on our income, we're $817 good to budget. We do not budget for certain areas like other income that pays for some of the clerical that go to homeowners. We don't budget for legal fee income that is paid towards legal fee expenses. And we're a little short right here, as you see, 821. That reserve fund income line is the budgeted income line from resales. Every time a house sells, there's a contribution to reserves, and that's where it shows up. So that's a budgeted guess, but we're $817 ahead on income. On our common area, our playground and street sweeping, we're $373 good to budget or under expense. On our community, we're a little over, and we're over in legal fees, as you see. We haven't spent any money on meetings or social in that budget. On our vehicle access gates, we're well under budget at $347. We've only spent $52.50 year to date on the vehicle access gates. Insurance, we're right on. It's a little bit high, but that's what the insurance is as it is renewed from what we had last year as the budget. Landscaping, we're $10,158 under. Don't get too excited about being that far under. We have some shrub placement that's been approved, that's being installed, that hasn't been billed yet. We haven't spent part of our tree pruning bid because you see it's $18,000 for the year, but it's leveled out for the entire year. So it's just used up during the year. We also have a landscape other budget that we have not spent too much of yet. So all that's timing issues. The only one that's not really a timing issue is the break fix budget of irrigation. So we continually fix the irrigation system, but we're a little under budget in that, so that's good. So overall under budget by $10,000, almost $200. Most of that is a timing issue, not to staying under budget for going forward. In operations, we're a little over budget by $25.47, and I'll go back for that page. You'll see it's mostly in clerical. Clerical is where the mass mailings show up. So when we had our annual meeting, all the mailings that go out, those go in clerical, and it's again a matter of timing where we have a budget that's $4,734 for the year, but it's linear or even for the rest of the year by month. So again, a little bit of a timing. Miscellaneous, we're a little above budget there, but that has an offsetting income component because that's where the other income expenses show up. We haven't spent any of this miscellaneous. We're under significantly in our miscellaneous repair because not much stuff is broke that we had to fix this last 2 months. So that's good. We're 3270 off of that. We are right on. I didn't highlight it, but we've put $24,240 into reserves in the last 2 months. That's your long-term savings, of course, for projects. And we're a little under in utility by $657. So that's pretty good. So all that added up, we are under budget in expense by $8,984, and you add the over budget in income. So we're good to budget by $9,802. There's supporting documentation in the board report, the bank statements of all 4 accounts, the check register, and the reconciliation of those accounts. All right, any board member have any questions about the financials?
Harmon, I have a question. Nothing
Yes.
from the golf course yet, right?
I did speak to the owner of the golf course last week, and they are late in their billing, and so we do not have a bill from them. So we originally had the budget, the quarterly budget number in the first month of the budget, and I put it back to the last month of the quarter of the budget. So that's why it didn't show up here in the budget being we haven't spent the money yet. But he didn't seem too concerned about it. He knows where we live.
Yes.
We're not
Yes,
going anywhere.
Exactly. Good.
Yeah, good question. Any other board questions on the financials? Any homeowner questions on the financials? Go ahead and unmute yourself, and I'd be glad to answer any questions. Okay, hearing no questions, board will entertain a motion to accept the financials as presented.
Motion to accept the financials as presented.
Thank you, Todd. Is there a second? Thank you. Any further board discussion? Any homeowner discussion on the motion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none, it passes unanimously. Thank you, board. Okay. I put this one here. This is an ICS account. So I talked to our bank, and we have an issue that we have $733,000 in one money market account. Common sense dictates, but also your documents say that we have to have our money in FDIC insured accounts. Well, the FDIC limit is $250,000. So technically, we're not in compliance with common sense and ourselves. If that bank was to collapse tomorrow, we would not be insured for near $500,000. So we need to do something about that to make sure all our money is FDIC insured. So there is a program, and I'll pull the information up on the screen, called ICS, and ICS stands for Insured Cash Sweep. And the best way to think about this is a group of banks get together, and this is a national program that banks are involved in, and they share all the FDI funds or accounts that are FDIC that are above the 250. They pool all those into separate smaller accounts. So it doesn't really affect how we look at it. It doesn't affect our interest. It doesn't affect our accessibility. They're still on the same statement with our bank, Phoenix Metro Bank, but now it's covered under the insurance because they're doing some back-end bank pooling work that will cover us. So if you take a moment to view and read that, and we have any questions about it or discussion board, management recommends that we do this program. It doesn't cost us anything, but it's not good stewardship of our funds to leave them uninsured.
So Harmon, how is it that they make some sort of fee to justify their actions?
There is no fee.
But like, they can't do this just out of the kindness of their hearts.
Okay. No, they don't do it out of the kindness. There is a fee, but our relationship with Metro Phoenix Bank is, as a whole, we pay no fees. So
Okay.
there's a fee to this. There's a fee for the lockbox services we have. There's a fee for ACH, but all those fees are waived because they're waived. Because we have enough deposit accounts as HOAs not to have fees.
Is the interest rate less than the regular account?
No, it's the same, but that's not very high. Our current, let me pull that statement up. We're getting a whopping 35 basis points
Yes.
on $733,000, which is, it's a joke. In the scheme of things of interest rates over years and years, that's a ridiculously low interest rate. But we made $194.73 in 1 month, over $750,000.
Are you looking for a motion to move forward with this, Harmon?
I'm looking for, if that's how the board would like to proceed for discussion, the board can discuss it before a motion. They can make a motion and then have discussion. You can ask questions. You could say, good idea. Let's get the banker on next meeting and talk about it some more if you like. It's up to you guys.
Hey, Art, you're the treasurer. You got any comments?
At any rate, it's a good idea. I had this discussion with my stockbroker this morning. And it's not uncommon. This isn't the first time I've heard about it. Within, investment banks like Fidelity and others, they have sweeps like this that put it into different bank accounts and just to keep it under the 250. So it's apparently something that works. It's a good idea. However, in the 2008 through 2010 time period, thousands of banks went under and nobody lost a nickel in an FDIC insured bank. Even if they had $1 million sitting in their account. So it's a good idea. We ought to do it. We shouldn't count on federal government bailouts for us.
Then I second Todd's motion to go ahead and do this.
I don't think Todd made that a motion. Oh, did Todd make it a motion?
I motion to move
Now he did.
forward with the program.
Okay. All right. Now we have a motion. Thank
I
you.
second it, yeah.
All right. Any further discussion on the board? Any homeowner discussion or comments about the motion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Passes unanimously. Thank you.
Harmon, I'm very impressed that you picked this up and the money's been sitting there for how long and how many years? 250,000.
Long time. Yeah, it's before Haywood. I didn't go back beyond Haywood, but Haywood had too much in there also. That was 2 management companies ago. All right. This came up. I mean, it's not like magically we figured this out. This came up in the last month with other associations, and we talked to the bank, and they said, "Oh, we have this program." So we are new to this program also, to be in full transparency. So this is something we am doing with all our HOAs that have higher than FDIC limits.
So is the
no-brainer.
Common practice then, if you have over the FDIC limit, to spread it across different financial institutions as an independent account? Is that? Yeah,
that's the old way of doing it. You'd have to open separate bank accounts in separate banks. So if this program didn't exist, then we would recommend that we open money market accounts or CDs, but still FDIC, at 250 or less in other institutions, because the FDIC is the ownership group. You can't have multiple accounts. You can't have 2 money markets in Phoenix Metro Bank with the same owner. that doesn't count. That's like having one account. So you have to put them in multiple institutions. This back end sweep system accommodates multiple institutions because they all get together and do it somehow. It's back end banking. I'm not 100% sure, but how it exists. But if we would have to put 250 at Wells Fargo and 250 over at B of A, and then I'd have to keep track of those banks and those accounts, and maybe they would charge us fees. And when you start dealing with too many banks in your balance sheet, it just gets to be an accounting nightmare. So this keeps it simple. But I wish I just if I'd known about it for years, I would have said it earlier. So this is actually new to us too. Huh? Yeah, the sweep. Sorry, I have somebody off camera that asked the same question. All right, so we're back to our agenda, the landscape report. Let's see, I asked Jeff to join us at about 6:15. There he is.
I'm here, everybody.
There you are, Jeff. Very good, Jeff. Jeff, would you please introduce yourself?
For those of you that don't know me, my name is Jeff Burt. I'm the owner of Tenant Line Management, the company that is now maintaining the landscaping for Greenfield Lakes.
So board and homeowners, I asked Jeff to join us so you could do a little Q&A with him. He can give you a status of what the landscaping is and kind of a vision of where he's taking us also. So Jeff, you want to give us a little summary report, that would be nice.
Sure, absolutely. We've been now on the property for a little over a month and a half. We're finishing up our second month now for March. We've removed a lot of dead trees already over the course of the last couple of weeks. We've worked on the horse trail, on the north horse trail on the west. That's all been cleaned up with the exception of removing trees and removing stumps. There was a request on removing from one of the homeowners back there to remove the oleanders because they have horses, which oleanders are poisonous to horses. They like to eat bushes. So we went ahead and we reduced everything back there so that way the horses can't eat that. But that's all been cleaned up and we did some treatment back there. When it comes to the weeds on the property, we're continually doing that, doing a pre and a post treatment. Harmon and I did discuss, it's been one of those things where sometimes we add, sometimes we don't add the blue dye. So if anybody has a question on that, sometimes I get in trouble when we do it. Sometimes I don't get in trouble. So Harmon and I discussed.
I'm the one that makes you in trouble. I drive the community and I see a weed and I don't see chemical on it. Right. I call you up.
Right. So it's usually when you don't use dye, it's usually a yellow. So it kind of looks sort of the same as the ground. You can't really see it. And in about a week or so, you see the plants start to turn yellow and they start to die off, the weeds that are there. So, but what we're going to do, I had talked to Tyler about making sure that we use the blue dye. So that way there's no question. And the blue dye, as I think most people know, it goes away within about 7 to 10 days with weather, and it just depends. If we get rain, it'll wash it away even faster. So, but it's just a dye to make sure that we see that we're actually treating these areas. Moving forward in the next anywhere from 4 to 6 weeks, we'll be doing an aeration of the entire property for all the turf areas. That'll be taking place. I do have a couple of questions for the board as well. We did meet with, I'd like to get some more input from you guys because we're new with this, with your property. We did meet with a gentleman by the name of Brendan, who is the golf superintendent. Since this is your property and you guys have dealt with this situation with the golf course, I don't know of things I need to watch out for, but we had spent time with Brendan for about 2.5 to 3 hours driving the entire property. We came up with a conclusion. What I told him, I said, look, at the end of the day, the bottom line is that the homeowners deserve to have the property look nice. And you are in the middle of the homeowners and we need to work together. It's not about this is your area, my area. So what we did is we went through and there's some areas that they're going to take over and there's areas that we're going to do as well. But the agreement between Brendan and I is that bottom line is that if they're there mowing that one tee box, that's instead of just mowing just a tee box, take care of the whole tee box. That's your area. So take care of the whole thing. But if I'm there and I see that the weeds need to be trimmed down by the mailboxes, we'll get it taken care of too. It's not about, it's their responsibility. So what I'm trying to do is move forward as it's all of our responsibilities to take care of the property instead of pointing fingers at each other. And Brendan liked that. So we're going to see how that plays out with the golf course. Hopefully it'll be a good working relationship. They had told us, and I don't know if this is true or not, but They had told us that the previous companies, I guess, they could never really get any communication going between the companies. I don't know if that's true or not, but we had talked about the watering schedule, and maybe you guys are aware of this. He's telling me that we have basically the use of the water anytime during the day. So basically from 5 o'clock in the morning till 7 o'clock at night, we can water as much as we want, wherever we want, however we want. The only challenge he's asking me to do is to keep an eye on the golf courts, the golf cart areas, because the water flows into the golf cart areas. So we're doing that and trying to keep the pooling water gone as well, because I see we've reduced a lot of that, but that's, I have noticed in the past, was an issue, a lot of pooling water. But if you guys have any information you would like to share with me, so I might be able to better manage the golf course, I'm all ears. Anybody?
Hey, Jeff, I think that's awesome. I've been in the community for 3 years and, on the board for only a year now. And there's been some areas right around our house that just look bad. And I stopped in the golf course and, told them about it, because the board said that was their responsibility. And they never really took care of it. But just last week, they were out here taking care of it. So I'm glad you guys are working together, and I appreciate that.
You're welcome. And that was the goal, guys. It's like, as I told them, I said, look, you want to keep the residents happy. I want to keep the residents happy. They're paying for a service. You guys have a relationship because you're the golf course, right? So, why don't we work together to make this thing look good? And what does it take? It takes an extra 10 minutes with a weed eater. It doesn't take you guys that long to do it. And it's just like on the entrance to the gated community. Well, according to the map, that area right there where the golf carts go underneath the street, that's not our area. But the other side of the street there on that entrance is mine. So I told him, I said, if I'm there, I'm going to have the guys do it, which we did it. We already took care of that. And I told him it was looking bad. And if I wait, it's going to continue to look bad. So, again, it's a matter of let's work together. We've pinpointed areas that they're going to do and that we're going to do. But if I'm there and it needs to be done, it will be done. It's not about that's his area. It won't be done. So it's up to them. We're not going to do that. We're going to try to do everything we can to work with the golf course and hopefully make the place look better in some of those areas that have been a challenge for you guys. I know there's been some homeowners with some areas that have been a big concern where it's a constant issue, where these weeds keep growing in this area, which it is the golf course. And we had talked about it. So we're trying to work together on that as well to hopefully mitigate any future, complaints and keeping the weeds gone or down in those areas. So we're working on it. Okay. We had put together a proposal for replacing the plants along the north side of Warner Road. I would say the northeast corner where that wall is completely empty. There's no plants out there. So when we're doing the plants at this point, all I was going to do, unless you tell me differently, because this is your community, is just replace the existing plants and keep to the plant scheme that was already there, unless you would like to do something different. So there'll be other proposals coming forward in regards to replacement of plants and trees, because I have noticed that it seems over a lot of the years, a lot of plant areas have not been replaced with plants, so on and so forth. So I will, we'll start providing a lot of proposals to hopefully change, the look of the property in those areas. One area that Harmon and I were discussing, and that is your monument signs. I have a question, and I don't know the answer. You guys would know. And I've lived in Gilbert, for 25 years. I just moved about a year and a half ago, 2 years ago, out to Queen Creek. So I drove by, your property on a consistent daily basis. And if I recall right, many years ago, you guys used to have flowers out there, and they would be changed out, twice a year. And then they switched it, if I'm not mistaken, to just regular plants. And the challenge you guys have is that they put privets in there. And we have to remember the direction that those monument signs are facing. They're facing west. And we got to remember what we put in there, because privets don't like 115-degree weather. And nothing, we got to find plants that work within that area to make it always look green and full and lush. And so it was the wrong plants that are there, frankly, in that area, because they baked. That's really what's happened. So my question is, does the board want us to continue just to put some more type of plants, come up with a different scheme, but do plants, or would the board like us to put color? and change it out and put, we put some beautiful spring, summer color. And then in the fall, we'll change it out again to, for our fall, winter flowers. And there's things in my mind that we could do to make it look nice, but I wanted to ask you guys what your thoughts were.
I like that idea a lot. I like the color.
Okay. I like the color too. I mean, because that way it's always changing. It always looks nice, We didn't do it this year, but if it's right next door to you, if you go to Topgolf, that's our account as well. Because of the pandemic, we did not put flowers in this year, but that monument sign, we redid that whole monument sign for them about 2 years ago. And we were putting flowers in there. So it always looks nice when you put the flowers in there. My thought, I was thinking, if I got to figure out a way to do this, but I'm almost thinking sort of like a Disneyland look in my mind. I'm thinking that right now it's just a flat surface. So as your 2 monument signs, it's just flat. So I could either leave it flat, don't do anything different. I got to check the irrigation and making sure with these zones that it'll be set up for color. Because remember, I got to water the flowers 3 times a day to keep it always looking nice. Or what we could do is, instead of being flat, I could actually maybe put it kind of like on a tilt. If you guys can kind of understand this. So here's your monument sign. Instead of it being flat like this, where the ground's flat like this, you could kind of maybe tilt it up a little bit like this. So when you're driving by, you can actually see all of the color. It would kind of look really cool, actually. And I don't think it would really take hardly any money to do this. It's just going to take dirt, maybe put in a border in there where I can hold it in there because you've already got 3 sides. And I think it would really look nice, I think. But that's an idea. And I can put together a rendering for you to take a look at, and see what you guys think about it.
I like it.
Okay. All right, then that's what we'll do. I'll do a little more investigation tomorrow with Tyler on the irrigation for those areas. I need to know what type of irrigation on the drip I have. If it's a separate valve for that by itself, that's great. Then I can use that zone and water those plants specifically to the plants. My biggest challenge I will have, so you guys know this, if we go to flowers, is if that one valve zone waters all those plants, that becomes a problem, okay? Because now you're watering those pots, you're watering, any of the other shrubbery that's on that monument sign. So I just got to see what it would take for me to, if it's already set up that way, great. If it's not, I got to figure out what it will cost to do that, to make it work for you. Okay. But I'll take a look at it. And are you open to want all 3 signs? Because you got the 2 at Greenfield and Warner, and then you've got the other 2 entrances down closer to Topgolf. You want those color as well, or just leave those plants?
I am. I think just to keep it consistent.
Yeah.
Well, there's 2 down Greenfield Lakes Road.
Yep.
And then there's 2 entrances on the south side of Warner, and there's 2 entrances on the north side. They don't really have monument signs, but they're there's no really place for flowers. There's a place for on the entrance on Greenfield Lakes Road south of Warner. Those have a little more monument planting areas.
Let me see what I can do for everybody. Let me put together some plans. Let me go look at everything, knowing that you guys want to see more, you like to see flowers. Let me figure out what I can do. Okay. I'll go back and go look and see how I can make this all work for you.
Just if you're curious, Jeff also does another HOA that we manage. It's called Gardens Gilbert at Wrecker and Ray. They're the northeast corner of Wrecker and Ray, and they have 2 major entrances, one off of Ray, one off of Wrecker, and they have monument signs that Jeff has put in full color over the last couple of years. And I think he's just in the cycle of putting new color in there. But go look at those. They look fantastic.
Yeah, they're doing really well. So
Perfect.
and other than that, I don't have anything else to talk about at this point. I mean,
we did a proposal that we approved last time down on Knox. What's the status of finishing that up?
That's all done.
Okay.
All the trees have been removed, and I did what you told me to do. We also went around. I had a homeowner or someone from the board or somebody approached one of my guys, said they were on the board or something. I don't know who that might have been, but said they wanted this tree out that was in the gated community area, which it was gone. It's a jacaranda, and it seems like all your jacarandas never did really well on your property. So That's really what I had to do, is drive around after they finished Knox Road, finding anything that was dead or it's dying, not doing well, just go ahead and get it out of there, because it just makes the community look bad. And I will discuss with Brendan as well regarding that stupid dead pine tree that I'm sure you guys are tired of seeing, that's been sitting there on the side of the road for how many years? It's like, how long has that thing got to sit there? You know, because that's not new. That's been there for a long time. So I will talk to him about that as well. If I have to take it out, I'll just take it out and be done with it, throw it in the chipper, and here we go. So that way it looks nice.
Perfect.
Hey,
Jeff, I've been driving the community. It looks really good. Thank you so much.
Well, you're welcome, guys. And I please, I want to know if there's anything I can do differently, better, if there's something we're missing. That's what I want you guys. We're working this as a partnership, guys. So whatever I can do, if we're screwing up somewhere, please let me know that we need to change something. If there's something else that you'd like to see done differently, let me know. We'll get with Lorenzo and the crew, and we'll make those changes happen rapidly. Okay. I will say one other thing on the irrigation. Let's go down the road. I am noticing that you're going to start seeing the purple heads. They're actually the reclaimed water heads. So remember, your water, everything you do, there's reclaimed. So everything I put in that system has to be reclaimed, and there's a purpose for that. It was interesting. I was talking. This is between us. I was talking to Brendan.
Us and the 30 people on the call. Okay.
Yeah, well, he was a superintendent. He didn't even realize that you had to use reclaimed water, rotors and valves. And I was shaking my head, going, "Wait a minute, you're the golf superintendent. You don't know that?" I'm like, I'm watching. I'm looking at a lot of the rotors that are around, and you can see that. I don't know how many in the past you guys have replaced, but they're not reclaimed. And how you know it's a reclaimed water rotor, it's purple on the top. So you'll see it in the grass, you see the purple tops. And the reason for that is it's designed for reclaimed water. So it can handle the harsh water that you guys have. That's what they're designed for. So when you see the purple boxes, everything has to be designed for the reclaimed water. And there's a purpose and a reason for that. So you don't want to cheapen out when it comes to those materials for the system, because then you'll be paying for it sooner down the road to replace it again, because that hard water destroys that equipment. So you want to put the right equipment in that, fits with what you guys have there. Okay.
Brandon,
Or do you have any other
flower beds? Do you think we should consider doing bubblers, or you think? Go ahead.
You know what I found? It's interesting. There's so many ways to do it. Over the Marriott courtyard, if you go over there, we haven't put flowers in this year either as well because of the COVID. We will be doing it, I think, in the next week or so. But there I got we got the line, what do they call them? The drip lines, where every 4 inches you got your little emitter on that line, right? Soaker tubes, that's what they're called. So I got the soaker tubes in there. I don't know if I like the soaker tubes. If you go to Gilbert Gardens or Gardens Gilbert, when you go look at their signs, everything is done on spray. It's micro sprays. And I seem to like micro sprays. They seem to give it the coverage that you need for all the flowers. It gets the corners, it covers the flowers completely. And I kind of like the micro sprays. Sometimes people don't want to look at them, but they are micro. They're really small, right? So they kind of stand up, above the flower a little bit. And they got a little teeny tiny micro spray that sprays out. But you get better coverage with that. And so I'm tossing that up, because bubblers, you got to wait till it fills up the entire bed.
Yeah.
That's the problem with the bubblers. And you use a lot more water with the bubblers.
Good.
Okay.
Perfect.
So how does the micro sprayer work with the reclaimed water?
Well, that's a good question. I don't know if I have that answer. I mean, there isn't anything that's a gray water micro spray that I know of. It's just, the way that little plastic nozzle is. I don't have one to show you, but it's just it's a little teeny tiny nozzle that goes into like spaghetti tube. It's really what it is, with a little plastic adjustment on it so you can close down your spray or open your spray, have full spray on it. But there's no metal or, mechanics in it of that nature. It's just plastic.
It might get plugged up from the muck in the water unless you put a filter in line with it somehow.
True. Well, which is good though. You can, because they got a little valve on there, which is great. So you can just open and close it. It's really simple, so unlike a regular drip line where, it's got the little emitters on there that they can get clogged up a lot easier. So I don't know. I'll have to find out. I have to do a little more research to see how that would actually work for these.
Would it make sense to pick one of those monuments and just use it as a test and find out what we can do and what we can't do and kind of work out all the kinks? And when we got it to where we like it, then do the rest of them?
We could do that. Absolutely.
I like that.
That way we're not wasting money.
Right.
Because I don't want to waste money. I don't want to go through something and we find out it's not working. I would rather, some people who, a lot of the HOAs that, where they don't have a lot of money and they want to really watch their pennies, so they have to, we just put in, they go more down the Lantana road, but I'm trying to find other alternatives instead of Lantanas, but something that's permanent, lasting, and it looks nice, and you get a full year's bloom and it always looks good, to try to save money that way. But again, you have some differences of microclimates that you have within that area. Remember the way they face, you got that, it's that summer heat that comes in and beats off that rock right off of that monument sign and puts that ambient heat on that plant. So we have to be careful what we put in there. Flowers will do fine.
Is there a particular monument that you would like to start with?
I think that'd be a question for you guys to answer, because when you drive down there, which one is what? I'm almost thinking, Harm and I were thinking about this, like the one actually is for the golf course. So I guess
yeah,
for the HOA.
It's weird how it works. The southeast one is the more prominent one that looks like it's more community because it's in front of it's still the lake and area, and the northeast one is in front of the golf building, but they're still both yours. So I don't know.
I would probably try the one on that southeast corner because, obviously we got summer coming. That'd be a great way to test it and see how it actually works, making sure that everything is good. I don't think it'll be a problem. Those flowers can handle it. When you're putting in the right flowers, it'll look good. I don't think we'll have any problem with that.
Okay, then I say let's go ahead and do that first one and see how it goes.
Okay. Let me do some checks on the valves. Let me see what we've got going over there, so I can go back some history and see what was actually there way back when. I thought you guys had flowers there before. That's what but I could be wrong, guys. I mean, it's been a long time, so I don't know. In my mind, for some reason, I want to see you had flowers, and then someone came out and changed it. I drive by all the time. I only lived 5 blocks from there, so I was thinking that's what it was, but I don't know.
Okay.
I'm hoping that's what it is.
Any other questions for Jeff Board? Would any homeowners like to ask him anything? Any homeowners want to make a comment of what they see in the landscaping, good, bad, or ugly? Well,
it's improving.
Yes. I'm sorry, Nathan, go ahead.
I just said it's improving. It was a lot of years of negligence, so you can't fix it overnight, but
that's true. But as long as we're going the right direction, so we're improving. That's what we're doing. That's great. Thank you.
All right, guys.
Okay, Jeff. Thank you very much for joining us. Appreciate it.
I appreciate everything that you guys have done for me. Thank you so much. All right.
Thanks, Jeff.
Have a good one.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Jeff.
Okay, the next agenda item we have is the horse trail issues. Ron, I think, excuse me?
Harmon,
Yeah.
I just want to make note of the fact that somehow Ron got disconnected and he's trying to connect back in.
Okay, there's no waiting room, so as soon as he connects, he'll be in the meeting.
Okay,
So we stopped the waiting. I turned that off a while ago, just so I wasn't watching it very well.
maybe it's divine intervention.
Well, maybe we'll have to skip this because Ron is the most knowledgeable person about the horse trail issue on the north end of the property. So I don't see him back in yet. So we'll go to the next one. So I've had some communications with several homeowners and some basic requests, and I'm looking for direction from the board. So I don't have direction, meaning that's a good idea, go get us proposals. So this is not a request to spend the money yet. It's like, this is a good idea, we should look into it. And the first one here is around the playgrounds. So the first one is the playgrounds, the actual tot lots that have sand, they tend to be the community cat box, and they don't stay very clean. The homeowner idea was, can we look into the rubberized asphalt bottom that is approved for under the playgrounds? That seems to stay cleaner better, and I don't know, but cats don't like it. I have both. I have communities that have both the rubberized asphalt and the sand. Is that something the board would be interested us to pursue and see what that would take to do?
Where did this request come from?
From a homeowner.
Okay.
Is this actually that coarse shredded rubber material, not asphalt?
I think there's two versions. There's I think it's actually shredded tires probably or something, but it's that coarse foam black with some color speckles stuff. And then there's also ones that are solid. It's a solid material that you see. It's like a rubber mat. But
Sport court.
Yeah, sport courts tend to be grid systems that you can do a basketball on, but a soft sport court, what is that, spongy? There's only a few materials that are approved to be under the playground, under the tot lots. And they're approved material. It has to do with insurance and liability and all that stuff. Sand is one of them. It has to be a certain depth and all that. And this other rubbery material is one, and that matte material is one also. If this is something we would like us to pursue, we'll go out and get some proposals on that, the different materials to replace the sand. What we do in the sand is we do clean it. There's a power sifter that comes in every once in a while. They clean the sand. So we do maintain the sand to make sure it's loose enough to act as, absorbing material if you fall on it. And if there's any litter in it, we have to take care of that. So it is functional the way it is. The homeowner thought it would be better to try and eliminate the cat box issue.
Can I offer something?
Please.
First of all, I hope my voice isn't too loud. I don't know how this microphone is set up or too.
You're okay.
One thing that you might consider that I've seen over, for instance, at Discovery Park on the playground areas, is a wood product called tumbled wood chips. They use clean white pine, and it's tumbled, and it's really soft, and it doesn't present the image of shredded tires underneath the playground. It's
Good.
much softer. I don't know. They use it over at Crossroads Park as well. The city uses it. I don't know the effect or how cats will treat it, but it may be something to consider, and it's approved and used by the city in their park.
Yeah, if it's used by the city, I'm sure 100% legitimate to use for us too. We
The
can look into
neighborhood
that.
east, oh sorry, Harmon. The neighborhood east of us has in their playground that rubberized asphalt stuff. It's actually pretty nice. It seems to be, the kids enjoy playing on it. I don't think it hurts to get a quote, but that's just my homeowner opinion.
Thank you. Board, what do you think?
I think it's worth looking into.
I think
can you hear me?
Yeah,
I think the options are worth exploring if it's a concern.
Yeah,
I
one of
heard
the
you, Todd.
problem
Go. Okay, I'll be quiet.
we had that item, we had the wood chips. The problem with it was it was creating a lot of scorpions because they're put in by the grass. So it's always moist. So there was a lot of, that's why we removed them and we put sand in there. But if this is a new product that doesn't attract bugs, absolutely, we can look into it.
Okay, so it doesn't have to be a motion at all, but is there enough interest for us to look at alternative product?
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
done. We will look into that and bring us information that we find back to the board next time. This one, next comment is, can swings be added to the playground and extend the playground? This is the playground tot lot on Pinto, the one in the north part, north of Warner, where Pinto tees in. So the homeowner specifically said, can swings be added to that playground, and could that be budgeted? I looked at it, and what I do know about playgrounds, there's a lot of regulations around it. They have to have a certain size, that padding below it, certain borders around it. So if you do extend the playground or add things to it, the base, the whole area has to be extended. So it certainly can be done, but it's not just slap a couple swings up there. It's a undertaking. If that's something the board would like us to look into, we can do that also. They're not scheduled for a few years on your reserve study. They are in the reserve study for a few years out, but not the next couple.
Okay, one of the issues I have with swings at that particular location is it looks like we've got a lot of space there, but that space is a detention basin.
Mm-hmm.
So if we put in sand or rubber or whatever, it will be flooded in the summertime when the rains come.
So does that, I'm going to put it on the map here on the screen. I've not been here, for the rains that much yet, but does the water actually get to there? Now it's on the screen. So where does the water tend to settle in that park?
Where it says tract B,
Mm-hmm.
that's the basin.
Okay, yeah, you can see the impression in the middle. So this area underneath the tot lot, how does that kind of do?
That's high.
Okay.
It gets flooded in the springtime when they're putting in the winter grass, because at least our previous contractor liked to water it every 15 minutes, 24 hours a day. But it is high enough that it wouldn't get flooded.
The other item to note, I've noticed that there have been people coming that are not residents of Greenfield Lakes into our property. I've seen a bus pull up multiple times, park right in front of the veranda, and utilize the playground over there. So one concern is, if we add swings, is this going to attract more people that are not residents, and what sort of liability does that present to us as homeowners? So that's one thing that I would also be concerned about.
Yeah, that's I have that issue in other HOAs, and even if you put signs, it's almost impossible to police when it's an open park that way, and and people, there's not really any additional liability. I mean, there's always potential liability, and it is common area. You do have insurance, but a resident child getting hurt and a non-resident child getting hurt presents the same amount of liability, if you want to look at it that way. Yeah, you mean this park here?
No, I was talking about the park where the basin where Art was talking about.
Oh, on Pinto?
The one right off of Pinto and Reseda.
Oh, okay, sure. A bus pulled up there?
There was literally a bus, and about
Wow.
15 to 20 kids got out. So I don't know if it's a school or if it's just random people just coming in, but they did not look like they were residents.
Just put up a sign that the neighborhood next to us has a better playground. That should solve it.
Well, yeah, it's hard to police. If if a homeowner sees that happening and wants to take an action, they can certainly call us, but really call the police also, because they're trespassing. The police might politely ask them to leave, is about it. So board, on this one subject, what do you think? What direction could you give us?
Hey, Harmon, if we're going to have a playground expert come out and possibly look at the underlayment on the other one, could they possibly maybe do an assessment on that?
Absolutely. If that's what we would like us to look into, we will do that. Do I hear more
you
than
might
one? Go for it.
You might also ask about the issue of grandfathering. If we add something, are we going to have to upgrade the entire site?
That's a great question. I know the answer to that if you change out to a new tot lot. When we go, let's say in whatever years we replace it, the entire new tot lot has to be up to all the new code, and it may have new requirements of boundaries and underlayment. If you keep the one you have to maintain what you have. If you add a brand new piece, I don't know that answer. So we will find out. That's a good question. Okay, we'll look into that. Continuing on the park theme, we have some charcoal grills that are rusted out. Apparently, they're not used very much. I was told they're used as ashtrays more than anything, and they don't get cleaned. Does the board have any opinion about what to do with the rusted charcoal grills? You can replace them, you can remove them, we can look at something else in its place. Whatever we do is we should look at regular maintenance and cleaning on those things also. Anybody use them? Maybe ask homeowners here. Has anybody ever used those charcoal grills in the parks?
Why don't we remove them? I've never seen them
survey or
used.
something.
Yeah, you can remove them if you like, and especially if the homeowners, a little survey or even a straw man here with the 30 people we have say nobody ever uses them. Has anybody ever seen anybody use them?
Sounds like a great spot for swings.
They're great stuff for what, Nathan?
A great spot for swings.
There you go. They're a great spot to do that.
I've lived here 19 years. I didn't even know they were there.
Well, I think there's your answer, board.
Well, I have an idea that you could consider, and that is to put a sign on all of them that says that the HOA is in the process of removing these. If you want them to stay, register something with the property manager as soon as possible.
That's a great idea. And we'll leave those signs up for a couple of months, 3 months. If somebody says anything, we'll come back and you can make the decision to pull them out. All right, you want to do that?
Yes, please.
Let's do that. Good idea, Todd.
All right, we'll do that. You don't need we'll put signs up. You don't need a motion for that. We'll take that input. And then when we bring that back, then you make the motion to remove. There's the Ramada on Pinto, and we have a couple other Ramadas too. So I would take this in the context of the other Ramadas. Light is being answered. I've heard from other homeowners that, well, let's say on the basketball court, don't put lights up. I guess there's a faction of no lights and a faction of lights. Lights tend to attract some people during the night you may or may not want there. But this homeowner specifically asked for solar power lights or solar lights in the Ramada. Is that something the board is interested in pursuing?
I think lights in the Ramadas that only light up the slab beneath the Ramada with a timer to go off at some time like 9 p.m. probably would be okay, but never on the sports courts.
Yeah, we're talking just the Ramada itself.
Yeah. And I mean, do we even have power at those sites?
I don't think you do, but solar is reasonable these days to put in to Ramada lights. We've done some solar projects in other HOAs. And you can go, there's high-end solar and there's Home Depot solar, so you can experiment with it too, pretty inexpensively.
Since we're talking about lights, there seems to be a light that is out on Cardinal Street. How do we go about fixing it or replacing it?
What type of light is a street light?
The street light.
Okay, so the best thing to do is look at this on the pole. There's a number with a letter usually in front of it on the pole. Send that in to us and we'll take care of it. I don't get there very often at night to see what street lights are not working. The street lights are the power company, so we contact them.
Also, Also, if you report that to Gilbert 311, you go into their app, you take a picture of that number, and they'll be out there in 2 or 3 days.
Yeah, honestly, that's what we do. So if you want to skip the step, you can do it directly, or you can tell us and we'll take care of it. Either way.
Yeah, Harmon, we had a street light out near our house, and my wife called the city of Gilbert and they replaced it in about 2 or 3 days.
That's great. That's better than the average SRP response, I'll tell you. That's good. Let's go back to the solar or to lighting. Is there an interest in pursuing lighting at the Ramadas?
We can certainly look into it and find out what the cost would be, to find out whether or not it's, prohibitive.
Just from other projects, I'll give you a huge range ballpark. On the very inexpensive side, you can do a Ramada for probably, $200 installed by the handyman from Home Depot, and see if that helps. It's those small, excuse me.
Hello.
Home Depot lights. And then on the very high end, the professional solar lights that we get from a solar company, we put them in mailboxes. We've done park lights with them, and they tend to be near, for Ramada, probably be $1,000 to $1,500. So there's a huge range of light and of dollar expense. So it's an experiment.
Hello.
Yes. Did you want to say something?
Hey. Yeah, just a comment on the lights in the basketball court.
Yes.
So that's in my backyard, and I love that we have a basketball court. But just know, anytime there are somebody out there, there are dogs that are barking constantly at people who are out in the park, people who are at the basketball court. Let's let the natural sunlight take care of that. After dark, that's it. It's noisy during the day, and that's okay because kids have a good time. At night, if there's light, it is going to be unbearable.
Now the discussion is just light at the Ramada itself, and certainly not the sport court. And there's Ramadas.
All right. As long as it doesn't cause for a gathering of kids, because that could be a problem. But that's just my 2 cents. Thank you very much.
And I also agree. If you put lights in a Ramada, that's going to be a place for the young people to hang out at night when they don't have anything else to do. That's just my 2 cents.
Well, the board, now you have 4 cents worth, so you got a little bit of input. You would like us to give us a direction of you want to table this for now? You want to look into something? What would you like to do?
Well, how many people asked for a light in the Ramada?
1.
How many people have said that they don't want it?
3.
3.
There you go.
There you go. Okay, on to the next agenda item.
I think we have our answer, unless a lot of people come forward and ask for that, and then we will give it serious consideration.
There you go. Well, then let's say the subject has been brought up, and right now we're not going to act on it, and we have quite a few people on the call. If people are interested, go ahead and let us know, and we'll go on. Yes, go ahead.
No.
That's right. No, okay, we have another one.
There have been problems before with kids gathering in the park at night, dealing drugs. And I think it's best if we don't have it well lit. That's just, it's a safety concern. So I think if you have a light back there, it's going to encourage kids to gather. We don't need that.
Okay, I think you're welcome. We're going to table that subject for now. Okay, the last one. So that was the last one on that one. Okay, so another was brought up is modernizing the painting schemes. So the 2 major paint companies that deal with residential will come out and look at the community and develop an entire painting scheme palette and present that to the board and the community if you want to adopt new palettes. It's a service they provide to HOAs. They don't charge for it. Get you an education on paint. We did have a homeowner ask about updated painting palettes. So if you would like us to pursue that, we'll reach out to Sherman-Williams and see the other one, and if they want to present a palette to the board in a meeting to see what you'd like to do, if anything. Is that something you're interested in?
I wasn't aware that there was a problem. I thought we had a very extensive color scheme right now to choose from.
If a homeowner asks me a subject that would like on the agenda, that's how they get here. This is not me asking.
Okay.
Hey, Kevin, I think we do have an extensive palette, but I think some of the colors on there might be really outdated. It might satisfy some homeowner concern that we're not getting with the times, updating.
I did paint my house last year, and going through the color scheme, it seemed like it was from the 1980s and 90s. So an updated color scheme or palette would be appreciated. And lastly, where is the current palette and color scheme accessible? Last time you were able to go to a website and access it. Where has that moved?
We'll look on the website, see it's there. It should be there, but I don't know off
It
the top
is
of my head.
available on the website.
All right, there it is. It's on the website.
The color palettes were updated 3 years ago. We added about 12 colors with about close to 60 choices. But if you guys want to practice, if you want to look and see if there's any new colors, I'm okay with that.
I'd say remove colors, don't add. They're just outdated, a lot of them. We just painted our house too.
And I think the last ones we updated was in 2019. I don't have my phone with me.
Yeah, that was only 2 years ago.
I don't think it can hurt. I mean, colors change fast and trends change fast, so I don't think it can hurt.
It's a great idea to remove some old colors though too, because there's a ton of color options.
Yeah, I will point out that if you remove colors, that does not prevent a homeowner painting their house that's one of those old options if it's already that color. So whatever color that house is, if they just want to repaint the same color, you can't prevent them from doing that. That's the grandfather in. Just no new houses will be allowed to use that old color.
Yes, so we kept some of the old colors that was original with the houses. And then we added, we have 29 colors with 96 choices. So, but if the board wants to add more or eliminate some of the new ones and add new ones, we used Don Edwards for all of them on the website.
Okay, we can
community
go back to Don
colors are in
Edwards.
there as well.
Yeah, we can reach out to Don Edwards and see if they would like to update for you. So,
We can
yes, no?
we can have them try and freshen up our paint schemes. I wouldn't want to throw what we have in the garbage and start over, but we could certainly, you know, maybe stand and have it freshened up.
Okay. Is that agreeable?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
we'll just go. We don't need a motion for that. We'll just reach out to Denver Edwards and do that. Last on the formal agenda is we had some Knox Road concerns about speeding on Knox Road. Some homeowners down there, more than one, said, I guess Knox Road, and you can see why I drive that when I'm on the community. It's a straight road in the middle of nowhere almost. Nobody lives on it, just has a couple of entrance streets. I personally don't know what we can do about it. The first thing we would do is contact the city, the town of Gilbert. We've done projects with the road people there. Sometimes they will look at it and say yes. Sometimes they say no. Sometimes they say, if you want speed bumps, they'll allow it or not allow it, and the HOA could pay for it sometimes also. If you feel it's an issue, we'll investigate. If you think it's not an issue, then again, we won't. So we're looking for some direction.
I think if the people living down there think it's an issue, it's an issue. So we probably ought to contact the city and ask them what it would take. They want to do a traffic study or whatever.
Yeah, let's start with the city and see what they say.
Very good. We'll do that, bring that back next meeting. Oh, that's the end of the formal agenda. Go on, Kevin.
You put the horse trail issues on hold until Ron came.
Oh, I did. Thank you. All right, Ron, we're going back. You dropped off the meeting.
yes.
So the North Horse Trail, you wanted to bring that up.
Yeah, on the acre lots, guys, there's a acre lot, they have horses. And through the horse trail, people have been riding their motorcycles, their scooters, and they're spooking the horses. The homeowner has added 2 little gates to stop people from getting close to his wall. And he was asking me if it's okay if he can do that, if it's okay with the HOA, because the horses are just going crazy when they get close to the wall. Harman, do you have those pictures by any chance?
I don't have it at my fingertips.
I can send it to you.
This sounds like another question for the city to see if they have any advice on how we should proceed.
For limiting access to the horse trail?
Yes. And let's start with their answer and go from there.
Yeah, we do have a comment in the chat. Why is an HOA issue? Are motorized vehicles disallowed from trails? Yes, they are, but it's not a Gilbert trail that actually is owned by the HOA, so it's not city land.
Yes,
actually, it's half. There's a dividing line in the middle. I was going to bring it up, but I'll wait for Ron's email if you're going to send me those pictures.
Yes.
And I'll put the trail up also. Should have left my map up before.
Probably the same kids doing drugs down there in that park.
Why, is there a light?
Probably. Might start a fire.
Did you get it?
The rubber compound on there.
I don't think the rubber burns. Okay, so here's the that trail. If you see that blue line right down the middle, that's the dividing line. The south part of the trail is owned by Greenfield Lakes Owner Association. The north side is owned by the guys on the north. And we have this entrance, if I get it to refresh, right here.
Yes.
Okay, so off of Rawhide, as you see. So that's our entrance. And to get a vehicle here, a motorcycle could go in there. In fact, I guess I'll admit it. I've ridden my motorcycle down there when I was driving the community to look at the horse trail myself. It was not fun because I do not have a dirt bike. But the way you have to get there is all the way down here. To enter, you enter here and you drive all the way this way because you can't enter off a Rawhide. And then you have this community. What's kind of strange is it dead ends. You can't go anywhere from here. There's that 6-foot deep drainage canal thing right there. So you really can't go anywhere. You can't really go south. It's a teeny path.
So they go back and forth,
Right.
and it spooks their horses.
So the issue is we do have motorcycles or vehicles back there, as Ron was saying. And this is the homeowner that has horses. So we really can't do anything on the north side. It is a common area HOA track on the south side. If you want to do something there, the board can decide to do that. Technically, a homeowner should not be allowed to do anything without permission on the common area at all. So that's kind of your foundation of what decision or direction to go, board.
Is this something that we can do in concert with the other HOA party?
We can contact them and see what they have to say. Sure.
Maybe they can tell us what they've tried that doesn't work and we know not to go there.
Well, I can tell you a little bit on the going north on this trail, they put in speed bumps and the city made them take it down because they want the fire department have full access. They put in blocks. The city made them take it down because it has to be open. So what we want, what the gentleman wants to do is in one small section. I don't know if you got the pictures or not, Harmon.
Oh, let me see. Yeah, I
He
do.
just put in a good, maybe like a 20-yard section. So when they ride the motorcycle, they don't get close to his wall. Yeah. That's what he's done. So that motorcycle riders go more to the north than against his wall.
Yeah, but if this is not part of our HOA, why are we even concerned about it?
That
No,
is
this
part of our
is
choice.
this is on our side.
No, you said it was on the north side,
This is north of his wall.
north
Yeah.
of his wall. Gotcha.
It's the south side of the trail, but it's the north side of his wall.
What is the liability of having that on there?
Great.
That is a good question.
If we know it's there
more
and
than
somebody
zero.
hits it in the dark, it would be our fault.
I
That
have
would be
I have
true.
a friend in Morrison Ranch. He had some rocks delivered in the morning at 10:30 a.m. The crew was on site. Some lady at 11:30 a.m. just literally jumped the rocks and crashed it and was flipped. So this reminds me of similar situation that can happen here. It's not well lit, it's not protected, and there's no proper signage. When we spoke with the police, or when he spoke with the police, he said the liability is on the homeowner, and some attorneys could well sue and just fine the property owner and damage of all of their medical fees as well as the damage done to the vehicle. So this could be something similar that we're facing.
Board, you have a discussion item you want to go here? Because if unless that's a mock-up, they're there now, and that homeowner doesn't have permission to put anything on the common area.
It was brought up to me. I'm open to whatever you guys suggest. I mean,
At the risk of repeating myself, let's ask the city and see what they say.
Okay.
They might tell us there's nothing we can do, drop the subject.
Nothing that the city can do or nothing the HOA can do.
The city might tell us that the HOA can do nothing. I don't know. We'll find out.
Okay. We will do that. So until then, do you want this homeowner to take those down, or are you going to give permission to leave those up?
Armin, did they send you an email?
This homeowner?
Yes.
They sent us an original email concerning the noise, but they didn't send us an email that they were going to install these things. No.
Yeah, they never, yeah.
Per the CC&Rs, they should have been removed or need to be removed.
John, sir, let the board discuss the item, please. Thank you.
I don't see how that fence is going to deter any noise. I don't really know what it's going to accomplish.
Well,
And in
it
my mind, I
keeps
can envision
the
more
vehicles 12 feet further away.
It keeps it away from the wall. That's all it does. It just keeps the motorcycles from going on our section. They go on other property section.
Yeah,
That's
it's really,
all it does.
if you want to be technical, I guess, see my cursor? It's really, you wouldn't go in this area. Nobody's going to ride a motorcycle on the berm here. The angle and all the, these trees are gone anyway. And the oil lander's
Somebody
gone.
gets hurt.
So it's really doing, it's pushing it 4 or 5 feet out at the risk of they're not supposed to be there. It's common area, homeowner put it there, and all the liabilities around that. It's probably not a good idea.
I
We
am
probably ought to write him a
uncomfortable
letter
with
to
those
take it
being
out.
I'm sorry, one at a time, please.
Go ahead, Ron.
No.
I am uncomfortable with those fences being there.
Okay.
I agree with Kevin.
You had something to say?
Well, I said we probably ought to write him a letter, tell him he ought to take the fences down.
Ron?
Tell him, but do tell him that we're talking to the city to try and come up with a solution and that this is not the final chapter.
Yeah, I agree with Kevin and Art. For now.
Okay, so my recommendation would be that we send a courtesy violation letter, because it is a violation, asking him to remove those, and we'll have a conversation with him that we are looking into what the city will say and bring that back to the board with the city's input. How's that?
Yes, please.
Perfect.
Okay, that's what we'll do. Let me put the agenda back up. Okay, homeowners forum. So homeowners, this is your opportunity to ask for agenda items in the future, because if it's not on here, we really can't make a decision. Depending on what it is, if it's a question we may be able to answer, or something we will look at in the future. Would any homeowner like to say something?
Yes, I've got a couple agenda items that I want to put on, some answers questions and some things addressed. So one, on the Quinn wall, you stated it's starting to be constructed on April 1st. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay. I'm the property owner of the perimeter wall that fell. I've been asking for months to see the name of the contractor and the bid. When am I going to see the bid and the cost for the reconstruction of this perimeter wall?
Sir, if you would like to wait till executive session and the board can invite you, that's a legal issue that you're currently involved in. It's not an open meeting agenda item, but you could be invited to it.
That's fine. I would love to be part of the executive meeting, but this is involving our community, kind of like the prior fence that we just talked about. The guy just put up in the common area. So I'm asking for the contract, the bids. I haven't seen it. I don't know what the specific plans and blueprints are. From what I read and understand, it's encroaching on my property. There's plans to go into my property. Someone's trying to annex certain piece of my property.
Sir, this is a legal issue, not for open.
Harmon,
sir,
please,
no, it's not. I'm not going to let you continue this. It's a legal issue.
It's a question. Legal issue of
then
what?
the question will not get answered in this open meeting.
I've been asking to talk to the board for months. It's been 4 months. Nothing has been done. In our annual budget, we have a maintenance and repair budget of $20,000. I haven't seen anything to prevent the wall or fall. I mean, is this amount being misappropriated? Kind of like the $180,000 that was embezzled a while back. I mean, these are legitimate questions that I have as a homeowner.
Sir, you have your lawyer and our lawyer are currently in discussion about this subject. We're not going to talk about it at this meeting.
Are we going to waste attorneys' fees that we're paying as homeowners?
No comment. This is not illegal. This is not an option. You can finish. We're not going to talk about it though.
Let me talk then. Please stop talking over me. I mean, are we wasting our fees as homeowners to communicate with me? I've been nothing but gracious and open to communicate with folks. Back in December, you told me that we were going to have a meeting to talk after all of the bids are in, so we can choose which one specifically we can go with. That never happened. I mean, I've been reaching out for months, not getting a response. Are we wasting more HOA's money? Kind of like we spent $40,000 in attorney fees trying to renegotiate water contracts with the golf course, which was unsuccessful. I'm trying to save the HOA some money, being cooperative and trying to be helpful, but you folks unfortunately are not. Based on the reaction that you had here, this issue is concerning absolutely everyone. There's more walls that are going to be falling. There's some on Quinn Avenue further towards north of the property. There's some property issues on Reseda. There's some walls that are falling down on Pinto. I mean, so if my wall fell down, are other homeowners expected to go through this nightmare scenario to try to work with the HOA to get this fixed? As a property owner, there's something called a bundle of rights, and one of them
Sir, I'm going to give you 1 more minute of speaking time at this meeting, so please continue for 1 more minute.
Harmon, why are you cutting me off? That's
Because
very
we can set reasonable limits. You cannot have the floor for half an hour of a subject that we're not going to discuss right now. So I'm giving you the opportunity to speak your mind and conclude, and we'll
I'm
give
not
you
speaking
one more
my
minute.
mind. I made a request. I need to see the contract. I need to see the bids. I want to see the blueprints for the wall. These are very simple questions. And the other question, I received a letter today stating that the tree that was in my property was the one that caused damage to the wall, and 180 feet of the wall, a brick wall fell. That's ridiculous. So are we going to remove and ask every homeowner that has a tree in the backyard to cut down their tree? I mean, is this the precedence that we're going to go ahead and state and ask?
You done, sir?
I am. I'm looking forward to the executive session.
We will invite you to executive session.
Carmen, can you hear me?
Yes, go ahead.
I live at 2575 East Jasper Drive in Greenfield Lakes. I'm just asking about the memo that we received in our last billing statement concerning the golf course / go-kart / amusement area that's going to be built to the west of our association. Is the association as a body taking any type of stance on that?
Kevin, you would like to address that?
My name is Kevin. I'm the president of the board, and the board has chosen not to take a stance because in order to do so, we would have to have some sort of a voting mechanism throughout the entire community to make sure that we were representing exactly what the homeowners wanted. And there isn't enough time to do that voting process. So we're encouraging every owner to reach out to the city and express their own personal opinion. And we're hoping that we're all going to speak up and we're all going to speak the same story.
Okay, I appreciate that. And I've already done that. Just got a memo from one of the planners at Gilbert today, because I'd asked about the hours of operation. The late hour is going to be midnight, 7 days a week, and the starting time will be 8 a.m. Every day except Sunday, I believe. So my experience is go-karts are going to be quite noisy. Understand there may be pipe music. I've already expressed my displeasure with the planning board. I'd just like to encourage any other homeowners on the site tonight, if they feel the same way, to please take advantage of the email listed in our last billing statement and express your either pro or con feelings on the situation.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Any other
Hey,
homeowner
Armin.
like to bring up something?
I'm in the queue if you can see my hand raised.
Yeah, go ahead. You can unmute yourself.
Okay. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Hi, my name is Dean Christensen. I actually know Jack. We're neighbors. I'm about 4 houses down from Jack on Jasper Drive. Same thing. You know, we just wanted to show up here, see if there's any, again, a position or assistance we could receive from the board. I can probably provide a little bit of information for anybody that's here, inquiring about the same issue. I did actually talk to one of the developers. They reached out to us because there was a little Go Gilbert discussion about this. Brandon Davison, who is here, also initiated that discussion. And I did talk to him. Just interesting detail, they are going to be gas-powered go-karts. I asked him if there was going to be some type of a sound retaining wall or, you know, some type of a device that would block sound. He said as of right now, there's no plan to do that. These are the things he did tell me. He said that there's not a plan to have piped music, but there'll be music on each of the holes in each of the events. But whether or not that's the case, I'm not sure. As also, you may or may not know, this is considered phase 1 of this project. And so he explained to me that there's actually supposed to be a phase 2 and a phase 3. They said that from the city, they were approved for 32 different types of attractions. He did tell me that rides were not one of those that the city approved them for, but that means there's quite a few things that they can be approved for. So anyways, wrapping all of that up, just giving you a quick background of what I found out. There's an individual, I don't see him here today. His name's Randy. I don't know if Randy's here. He's a homeowner that lives, I believe, not too far from Portland, in the same neighborhood we do, which is going to be the closest to from this proposed park. He's actually putting together, coordinated with myself and also Mr. Davison. We're going to do some canvassing around the neighborhood. And so we're going to take a flyer. We're trying to coordinate with the best information we can as we take that out there, make sure that there's a show of force, maybe talk about a petition, that sort of thing that we can take to the city meeting on April 6th. And so if anybody here is interested, please reach out to me. You can put your email address in the comments or the chat box and I'll copy it down. Give me your name and your phone number and your email address. And I think you already answered my final question. It sounds like right now the board is choosing not to take a position on it, but I think I might have talked to you. I forgot what your name is from Focus Management.
Harmon.
Harmon, yeah. And I said, hey, is there any scenario in which the board could approve legal representation if it came to that? And you said only if the board, or could the property management company provide that? And you said only if the board, and I may misunderstood this, only if the board approved it.
Sure.
So obviously you you guys explained your position currently, so.
Okay, thank you very much.
Yeah.
Anything else? We have several hands up. I guess I'll just go from the top of this list. Jack, did you want to say something?
We already heard from Jack.
All right, Dean?
Greg's next.
Okay, so Dean's done?
I'm done.
All right, Greg Zakoff?
My name is Greg Zakoff. I'm an original homeowner, so I've been here for longer than 22 years. I just retired after 30 years in law enforcement, working here for the state police. I was one of those callers who submitted a proposal for slowing down Knox Road. Just wanted to give the board, first of all, thank you very much for entertaining that and looking into it with the city of Gilbert. I have contacted the local Gilbert Police Department on several occasions. They recommended that I speak with my homeowners association first and foremost. So that's where I went with Harmon, and he got me right on the agenda. So thanks for that. But some of my concerns, since the pandemic, I've been walking in the neighborhood a lot more often since I haven't been able to go to the gym. And the area of Knox Road that I'm mostly concerned about, not that the whole road itself is a speeding, a nightmare waiting to happen, but there's a bus stop in the morning there, right there at Park Crest and Knox, where a group of kids gather. And I've seen cars going by at excess of 40, 50 miles an hour with kids standing right on the edge of the curb. Not only that, but that's the area where we walk across to go through the cut through, where we get into where the Cosmos Dog Park is, or if you want to go up into, like the Joe's Farm Grill or anywhere up towards Ray Road. So it's crossed over quite often. And as a matter of fact, yesterday I was riding my bike and I was in the bike lane coming westbound on Knox, and I had a white car go by me. And I'm pretty good at judging speed, but I'm going to say in excess of 55 miles an hour. And he actually sped up as he went by me as I was in the bike lane. So I'm so happy to see that this was on the agenda for tonight. And I want to thank the board for looking into this for us. I would hate to see anybody have any kind of an issue where they're involved in some kind of injury and I didn't say something. So thank you very much for looking into it, and hopefully we can get something done. I know they lowered the speed down from 35 to 25 about a year ago, and they posted more signs, but I can tell you, I've been monitoring Knox Road just because of the pandemic, walking so much and riding my bike so much, and the 25 mile an hour posted signs aren't changing anybody's speed habits at all down that road. So thanks again for entertaining that, and hopefully we can get something done.
Thank you, Gary. We have go ahead.
I was just gonna tell him thanks for his service.
We have a homeowner that has a hand raised on a telephone. 5867 is the last 4 digits.
Hello there, it's Randy Nelson.
Go ahead.
Sorry, I was not able to get online, so unfortunately had to do telephone. I've done extensive research on this go-kart track, and what it comes down to is that there is not a single complementary example anywhere in the 6 southwestern states. What they are trying to do has never been done before. They have never plopped down a go-kart track 200 feet from a subdivision. The oddball things, out of the 150, there were only 4 exceptions that could see housing. And those were all unusual, like a condo built 10 years after the track and that sort of thing. So nothing comparable. 111 cities have turned down this sort of proposal, or they don't exist, whichever one was the result. Either way, they aren't there. So 150 searches, 150 tracks, 111 cities, never been done. Shouldn't be done here either.
Thank you. I was off for a few seconds. I don't know if it was mentioned that there is a sign posted on that lot. I received an email with a picture of it today, and I believe it said April 7th is the meeting for the city for that. Was that mentioned already?
I heard the 6th, but.
Okay, maybe it's the 6th. Okay, so it could be the 6th. It was give or take that area, but there's a sign posted. If you're interested, I recommend you go look at the sign, go to the city's website, and they're talking about that specific meeting that's posted on that sign. It's a huge sign. It's a mini billboard. It's not just a little piece of paper sign.
April 7th.
Sorry to jump back in. It's April 7th at 6 p.m.
There you go. Thank you. Nathan?
It's good to hear our community joining together, trying to work against the golf cart thing. I hope we're successful. It's probably an uphill battle, just being frank. But I did notice that my kids get on the school bus at the intersection of Quinn and Saratoga where the golf course is. There's a perimeter wall, and I can't remember if it's north of the golf course or south of it, but it's separated from the inside wall, and there's not really any room for it to fall other than right on the sidewalk. So if you guys have a chance, I know there's some issues with walls. If you can put that near the top of your priority.
And what was the other street?
It's where the golf course crosses over. It's south of Saratoga. I can't remember if it's north of the golf course or south.
We'll check it out. Thank you.
And then that other wall that is along the canal, I think you guys are having an engineering study.
Yeah, we're pursuing a study on that. So that's high priority also.
Good deal. It is literally being held up by a tree on my cul-de-sac. So I just want you to be aware of that.
Thank you. Dean?
Yeah, just real quick. I just posted a link. It was sent to me by Stephanie Bubenheim from the city. She's on the planning commission. And anyways, this takes you to the website, and where on April 1st is when they're going to officially post the link to the planning commission meeting in which they'll be discussing this issue. As I understand it, this link that I just posted is the link in which you would click on April 1st, and you would be able to go to that, you'd be able to find that link and then attend the meeting. So.
Great, thank you. The 5867 phone number has their hand up still. That's the last one, or did you speak and I didn't lower your hand?
No, I'm sorry. It should be down. I don't know how to take it back down. Sorry.
I took it back down. All right, with that, we'll thank everybody, community, homeowners board. Thank you very much for a good informative meeting. As your manager, we appreciate the input and bringing issues to the board for discussion, resolution, and direction of what we can do and help you guys out. I'm going to ask for a motion to adjourn the meeting. At that point, we'll adjourn the open. We're going to go into executive session. As you see on the agenda, there's executive session. The law requires us to state why we're going to executive session. Arizona State Statute 33-1804. There's 5 paragraphs, and we got 4 of them listed at the bottom of our agenda. You can see that. So if you need some light reading, go look at the statutes. It's basically personal information and legal things. There's no secret stuff that we can't tell you that why we're going into the meeting. And I'm going to ask.
I'll make a motion
John?
to adjourn the meeting.
Okay, I was going to ask John, you stay on, and I'm going to ask